everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing the previous sessions with your friends, colleagues, and people that you think this channel will impact positively. Today, I have another guest in the house. She's a registered nurse here in the United States, and she has lots of experience back in Nigeria before transitioning to the United States of America, in person of Mrs. Olayinka Bankole. Mrs. Olayinka Bankole, thank you for coming. Despite your tight schedule, you still find time to come to this YouTube channel to impact people. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time, I appreciate your love, and I appreciate your support. Thank you, ma.
Hello, Blessing. It's a great honor to be with you here today. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you are watching me from. Thanks.
Yeah, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself, ma?
My name is Olayinka Bankole. I'm a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for 24 years in total. I started my journey back in 2000 when I graduated as an RN, and I've been working until 2019, until 2021 when I traveled to the US. Nursing is a challenging profession, and it is rewarding as well. So throughout my years of practice, it's been a lot. But then in nursing, you have various fields where you can practice from. Because of my years of experience, I've worked in a lot of departments.
Wow.
Pediatrics, orthopedics, psych departments, med surg, clinics, name it. I've
Wow.
worked in so many departments. So that makes me being able to fit into any role in nursing.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. So that will take me to the fourth question I'm going to ask you. And the question is, looking at your years of experience in Nigeria, I know you've had like 20 years of experience before transitioning to practice in the United States. What's motivated you to move at that time? Because right now, most of your colleagues would have become a director, and I knew you've grown to the managerial level before you moved. So what motivated you to move to the United States?
Well, going through social media every day, you see a lot of nurses practicing abroad. The way they speak inspires me a lot. I want to be one of them. But then there's this thought that will always prop up in your mind, but at the same time you'll be like, no, I don't want to do it now. I'm so comfortable where I am, because the job I was doing back home in Nigeria is not too bad, and I felt I was comfortable. So the thought was not really coming as at then. So that was why it took me so long to make up my mind. I felt I was comfortable. My job is good. We were being paid fairly well. I'll say fairly well. So it wasn't too bad then. So I just didn't want to pursue the thought. But sometimes the thought just keeps coming to my mind. You can do it. You have people that travel abroad. They are doing okay. So you can do it too. That was when I decided, well, let me give it a try.
Okay, thank you. Was it the first time that you tried that the thing clicked, or you've tried several times?
Oh, no, it wasn't just the first time. It was in series. So at some point in my career, maybe after my 10 years in nursing, the thought came, and there was one opportunity that came that time to go to Canada. I tried, I applied, I was offered to come and write the practical nurse examination in Canada. But because of lack of insight on what to do next, I missed that opportunity. I was
Wow.
only supposed to just take some few steps, and I'll be able to go further in that. But I lacked insight, nobody to put me through. So I left that. After some time, when the thought kept coming back again, I said, well, if I wasn't able to go to Canada, let me try another place. So I thought about going to the UK. So I know before you can go to any of these advanced countries, you need to be able to demonstrate your proficiency in English. And that is where a lot of nurses have issues. We don't want to take that extra mile to do
Wow.
exams. Nobody likes to be challenged on anything. But I said, I can do it. So the first thing I did was my IELTS. I got
Mm.
a score, even though the score did not meet up with the UK requirements. I said, well, I'll try again. But before I tried, I did my CBT and I passed that at first instance. So, and I had to wait on my IELTS and make sure I got that before I can proceed further. I attempted again. My scores the second time was even lower than
Wow.
the first one. So while I was still thinking about that, I saw an was it like an advert, or I was just scrolling through on one of the Google search engine. Then I saw this school in the US offering admission, offering courses to people from other
International
countries.
students.
Yeah. So I said, oh, I can go for my MSN. Let me try. And they don't even require a test of English. So I said,
Mm.
oh, this is a good one. Boom. I started. I applied, sent all the required documentation. I was offered an admission. So
Wow.
I got the I-120 form, which I will use to apply for visa. At that point in time, there was no enough money yet.
Mm.
So I was still on that. Then I said, I can still try some other places. I kept trying. At this point, I would tell nurses, anybody watching this channel right now, if you have the thought, if you have the ambition of traveling abroad, keep pursuing it. It's a dream. It will come to a reality one day if you don't stop.
Thank
So
you. Thank
I
you.
said the UK was in progress, the US schooling is in progress. Then I applied to an agency that sponsors nurses for NCLEX. So while I submitted my application and waiting to hear from them, I was still going on with other to the UK
Mm.
processes and the admission stuff. I paid my registration fee for the UK so that I can continue to submit my documentation, and I did that. 2 days after that, blessing, I got an email from that agency that
Wow.
they accepted me and they're going to sponsor me for my NCLEX. I was so,
Imagine. God.
and that was how everything started. They prepared me for NCLEX. It took about 9 months, but I mean, that was how it all started with the agency that agreed to sponsor me for my NCLEX exams.
Any regrets looking back? Because I know you still be in touch with some of your colleagues back home.
Mhm.
Because I know at that time you'll be like, oh, all these small, small girls, that's what I'm doing processing with. Huh? Do you have any regrets going through that route or taking that step at that particular any day? Do you have any regrets one day that you have that thought that, oh, I would have become a director by now, see my colleagues back home? I just wanted to be
Well,
sincere, please.
I have no regret whatsoever. And like you have rightly said, some of my colleagues have become chief nursing officers, ADNS, that's assistant director of nursing. Some of them are even in the on way to become a director of nursing. So, but for me, I have no regrets because Rome was not built in a day. Even though I have been building my career back home, and I almost got to the peak of my career before coming over here, I have no regrets starting from the scratch because when I
Mm.
go to the US, I have to start working on the floor back again, giving medication, doing vitals, and all of those. It was a bit challenging initially, but it's something you can overcome. That should not, I mean, be a barrier. And as we speak right now, I'm a registered nurse supervisor in a mental health facility, a government owned facility. So, what more do I ask for? I have no regrets. Wherever you find yourself, make it a home and start to build your career over and over again. So,
Wow, your story is so sweet to hear. You see the way I'm grinning and smiling. Yeah,
I
so that will take me to the next question. Your story looks so sweet. So was the journey so sweet, or what are some challenges? I want you to share some of the challenges you faced as an immigrant nurse in the United States of America.
Well, I'll start from back home. The journey is not so sweet. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of patience. I mean, patience. So, why I say hard work? I prepared for the NCLEX exam for over a 9 month period. You know, when you have to read every day of your life for 9 months, it's not easy. It was challenging, but I thank Jehovah God today for making it a reality. I remember when I went for my NCLEX examination. After passing, I mean, the computer shut off at 75. And I'm like, oh, wow, this computer, why do you have to shut off? I haven't finished. Give me more time to finish this exam. I can do better. Not knowing that I already passed. I got
Wow.
back home to the hotel. I started crying. I'm like, God, why do I have to travel this far to become like a failure? You know? Oh, no.
Mm.
Then, with mixed feeling, I went back home. I got home. It was a Sunday that I got back home. On Monday afternoon, I was at my place of work and I got a message from my agency saying, Rebecca, you have passed your NCLEX.
What?
Blessing, you need to see the way I shouted in the middle of the shift. I was just thanking God for everything. So I say it's a long journey. It's not easy, but it's worth pursuing. I'm enjoying the kind of life I'm living as an immigrant nurse here in the US. Of course, arriving over to the US, we have few challenges. One of it that I'll first talk about is a 12-hour shift. Back home
Mm.
in Nigeria, we don't do a 12-hour shift. Highest you can do is 8 hours. I mean, for government-owned facilities, some private hospitals may be doing 12 hours, but most shift that I did was 8-hour shifts. But on getting here, working 12-hour shift, 3 to 4 days in a week, it was challenging. But that's not a barrier. We kept moving on, and that's, I mean, we are used to it now. Another challenge that I will talk about is the language, I mean, accent. You know, even you opening your mouth to even say good morning, they already know you are not from here. If you are not from this part of the world, it will be a challenge initially, but after a while, you get over it. What you need to do, speak slowly. They say that we speak too fast where we come from, but here you are able to speak slowly, say your words once at a, I mean, pronounce your words one at a time. It makes it easier for them to understand you. And you also have to listen attentively to grasp what they are saying. Sometimes you begin to wonder, are we speaking the same English language? Yes. Yes, we are speaking the same language. It's just the accent, but that shouldn't be a barrier. Don't say because of that you won't pursue your dream. No. America is so diverse. We have people all over the world. We have Indians, we have, name it, we have other African countries here, you know, so it's very diverse. You are
Doing
not.
well, not just here, but they are doing well in the
You have
field of
medical
career.
doctors that are Indians, that are Nigerians, that from everywhere. In the hospital where I work presently, oh Lord, we have a lot of people from everywhere. Name it, Kenyans, Nigerians,
Jamaica.
Zimbabwe, Jamaicans, you know, from all over the world. So don't see that as a challenge for you not to get to the peak of your career, especially when you are thinking of being in leadership role and you are thinking, oh, how do I talk to people? How do I talk to staff? No, I cannot become a person in a leadership role. Yes, of course you can, even
Mm.
though it's still a challenge now with me and the people I work with, but we get along better. Each day it gets better. So just take one day at a time and keep pursuing your goal and you will get there. So those are the two challenges I felt like I had in this journey.
Wow, wow, wow. So inspiring. Thank you. And then thank you for that word of motivation, especially the leadership role. I also experienced it. People will talk you down. They will be like, don't
Mhm.
apply, don't apply.
Yeah.
But then the worst answer is a no. I don't believe there's anything impossible. Just give it a
Mhm.
try. Who knows? You might be the chosen one. So
Yes.
you are now the
Yes.
supervisor in this State Hospital. Wow,
Yes, yes,
that's
and
a good
yes.
one.
And I
Thank
have not
you.
stopped. I still have the intent of going higher than that if time permits me, Yeah.
God will make it come true. God will make it come true. So you've spoken about your challenges. What are some benefits, money wise, in terms
Oh,
of living
let's
life?
don't even go there in terms of money wise. It is sweet to work as an RN here in the United States. You get
Wow.
remunerated for the job you do. Nobody's owing you salaries. You get paid. Some facilities paid weekly. Some do bi-monthly. That's every 2 weeks. But you get paid for
Bi-weekly.
what you do. Yeah, and that is very rewarding. And apart from that, I mentioned earlier that US is very diverse. You get to meet with people from all over the place, all over the world, and you learn from them along as you go, especially when you practice teamwork in your
Mm.
facility. It helps a lot. Another thing is professional development. Schooling is easy in the US. Education is easy. So while you are here, grab that opportunity to go to school. Most of these schooling is online, so it makes it easier. You study from the comfort of your home, and then you can get the certificate you wish. And then here also you have various specialties. It depends on whatever you want. Many of them. Just pick the one you want and then progress further. So those are the benefits I have identified.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. I know you've given words of advice along the line while sharing your story. So, is there any one last word you want to give to my audience, especially those that are still in Africa, that are still contemplating, especially now? They said the immigration is not so fast. Like you said, it took you 2 years to come to the United States, and you said there's no regret. It took me 9 months. It took me 11 months after passing my NCLEX. So, though I think the timeline is increasing, but can you just give a word of encouragement to those people on the queue? A lot of people have passed already, but immigration is giving them some difficulty to come in on time. And those that are still contemplating, should I start? If it's taking, some people will call me and they ask, how long does it take? I'll say, okay, let's say roughly 2 to 3 years. It's too long. Go. Is there any word of advice you want to give, please?
Of course, there's this group that we belong to. Most Nigerian nurses are on that group. I mean, those nurses that have the thoughts of coming to the US, and some of them are with my agency that I came with. I see a lot of people getting depressed because the journey is getting longer than usual. With immigration stuff going on now, it could get longer than usual. But I will encourage everyone to hang in there. Success is not easy to come by. It may look like it's taking forever. Just hang in there. Keep pursuing your goals and it will come true. Then for nurses that are still back in Africa, if you have that thought, like I said earlier, keep pursuing that dream. Go for your IELTS, get all your documents ready, do your document verification, get it ready and start. If you don't start, you won't move from one place to another. Education is something you have to continue to pursue. Coming to the US might not be like an education, but yes, you will learn in the journey whenever you come over here. So don't just abandon your thoughts because it's taking too long than necessary. Hang in there, continue to pray. Like I said, my journey took like 2 years. In one of the groups that we belong to, we have people that take up to 3 years. Even those that have started before me, I came to the US before them, and I still left them in Nigeria when I was
So
working.
everybody's journey is unique.
Everybody's journey is different. So don't say, oh, yours took 11 months, mine has to be 11 months. Oh, yours took 2 years, mine as well has to be 2 years. No, everybody's journey is different. God's time is the best. That's what I would say. Wait for your time and it will surely come.
Wait for your time, pay your dues,
And it
and
will
it will
surely
surely come.
come. Yes.
Thank you so much. We are going to stop here. Please,
Okay.
my audience, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share with your friends if you have learned one or two things from this interview. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.